Guys, I'm not gonna lie. This might be the most fucked up thing we ever watched. I know what you guys are thinking. JT, why would you pick another crazy, stupid movie? Well, guess what, guys? It wasn't me this time. It wasn't me. Playing Shaggy over here. That's right. Old T-Mac came up with this crazy 70s drug-fueled fuck trip that is called Zardoz. Sean Connery in a red diaper, raping. There's a goddamn boner contest. Guys, it's nuts. We're talking about it on a very, Jesus Christ, edition of the Revue.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Revue, a show where two small town dudes give you our big dumb opinions. I am Troy to the Max Extreme.
And my penis is evil!
Today, we do have a guest remoting in from his own secret lair. We have Coach Havens in the house for Zardoz.
I am at my own vortex with my drawn-on goatee.
You're broadcasting live from your glass pyramid, right? Right?
You know it. You know it while I watch weird porno.
Now, to be honest, Cole, you have to tell us when you get a boner.
Well, you're all going to stand around and watch it, right?
This entire show is an experiment to make sure what gives you a boner.
Weirdly enough, it's going to be a white line across the screen.
Watch at home, everybody. Keep watching. You'll see a white line. If it starts really vibrating, it means Hot Take Havens here's got a boner.
It's Boner City at Haven's house.
If you haven't guessed from all the boner talk, we are talking about Zardoz. Later on in this episode, a pick by me. I've been curious about this movie ever since I think I first heard it on a How Does This Get Made episode, and I found it on Hulu, and I sprung it upon these lads, and Cole didn't even have to watch it, and he did.
I'm not even upset about it.
But we're going to talk more about that at the top of the hour. Before that, we have a little bit of news to comb through just to see what happened during this week and some pop culture entertainment news. Starting with, apparently Artemis Fowl is atrocious. This movie has been trying to get off the ground, I think, for more than 2 years. And Disney was going to be putting it out in theaters, and obviously that didn't happen because they dropped it on Disney Plus. I got ads for it for the last 2 weeks that Artemis Fowl is coming, blah 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 blah, and it just dropped like a hot piece of shit on Disney Plus because anybody who's anybody is looking for a new movie to watch, and a lot of people went to go watch this, and knowing Disney has a pretty high track record of things. This is being just hated by everyone. Just that it makes absolutely no sense. It's edited so choppy to make it it's 92 minutes long or something like that.
Jesus.
Chris Stuckman, for instance, I remember his review. He just was I don't even know what to say. I can give you the history of making it, but at the end, he just gave it an F. And he, never gives anything just an F. And I was like, my God. So, it dropped like a hot dump. And apparently it's bad. So if you're into whatever this very old book series is by now that came out in, the mid-2000s, don't watch it. Because apparently it sucks ass. So just skip it entirely.
Yeah, I've been hearing that this is this year's Wrinkle in Time.
But I heard Wrinkle in Time was not that bad. It just, I don't know, missed the
I heard
mark.
Wrinkle in Time is shit.
Oh, is it? I guess I don't know. I kind of wanted to see it. I remember that book from like when I was a kid, but I never even had the urge to see it. I don't know. Maybe that says a lot. But I don't know. Cole, did you ever see A Wrinkle in Time?
I didn't, and I was not a reader as a kid either, so I did not read the book either. I am lame.
Very honest of you.
Yeah, I'm not trying to sugarcoat it.
I wasn't a reader.
I was a Cliff Notes kid.
You know what? I did that a few times. I'm not going to lie. I did a few Cliff Notes when I just really wasn't into a book or whatever. I'm like, this sucks. I don't want to read all of this. I know this is supposed to be a classic, but I'm not having any fun reading this. Like Old Man in the Sea?
No.
Do you have to read that? That sucked.
The Giver?
Ugh, I couldn't even finish. I couldn't even get like a few chapters into The Giver. I had no idea what was going on in that book.
That book was so thick.
I think I tried to read that in 5th grade, and that didn't work for me at all. Like, even then, I'm like, this kind of sucks. Like, I don't know what's going on. I got to, like, some part where some dude was giving some chick a bath or something. I don't know. Maybe I'm not even remembering the right thing. Maybe I'm just thinking of Zardoz. But,
Oh, now Zardoz was a book when I was in 6th grade. Oh, my God. Boner City.
Remember that chapter with the giver grabbed a chick's tits? Oh, wait, that's Zardoz.
More news there, guys. I got more movie news. So ever since its release, Trolls World Tour has been the top movie since. Like, it hasn't been ever beaten except for maybe once, and then it went back into the #1 spot. But this last weekend, The Invisible Man actually topped out Trolls World Tour, and by making only $383,000 at the box office, was the #1 movie in theaters this last week, which is insane. Because like the last couple of years, we're used to seeing like, oh, this movie made 10 million this week, or on like a Monday or whatever it is, and now it's like this last week it was $383,000, and that was mostly just at drive-ins because they're only really showing movies at drive-ins. I don't know where in the country there'd even be a movie theater open, but it was only playing at like
a time to be alive.
I know. I keep telling myself that is like, please don't forget about this. Because it's going to be so weird, like, telling, like, people 20 years later who had no idea what's going on. Like, telling my kids, like, hey, you remember that whole year where you never went to daycare and you were just getting sick of me? Remember that? That was a weird time.
I'm going to tell my kids, remember that entire year where you never worked? Or where I never worked? Yeah, that was a great time.
Yeah, what a time to be alive. And the last bit of news I got, this is a weird one, but I found it necessary to maybe talk about it during the Zardoz review. The Bold and the Beautiful, a soap opera that I do not watch at all, is trying to resume filming. And to do so, for their love scenes, they are going to be using blow-up dolls in the spot of another actor. So...
I might start watching The Bold and the Beautiful.
Me too. I read that. I don't even know why it was in my newsfeed. Maybe I should stop looking up blow doll stuff. But I found it very intriguing that they would go to such lengths to continue filming. Good on them, right? I hope it's like the...
Again.
Weird
what a time to be alive.
Yeah, I hope it's like the really cheap ones that you can get at just like a sex shop that you have to like inflate with your mouth, and not like like the one that's just, like, mouth is permanently a circle.
Priscilla, why do you look so shocked?
Oh my god, it would be amazing. I would love it. But yeah, that's all my news. That's it. That's all I got.
What an amazing piece to end on.
I thought so. Thank you.
Oh my god.
Anybody else have some blow up doll news?
No blow up doll news. But
Nothing I can share on the podcast.
Uh-oh. Well, now you've definitely piqued my interest, Cole.
Oh, tune in next week for False Hope.
Let's just do a podcast with you called False Hopes, where you talk about how you have some juicy news, and then you just be like, but I'm the... and you just find ways to screw around it the whole time.
We'll call it the Blowcast.
The Blowcast? You stay
Sure,
on
the
while you're
Bud Light
drinking your
Orange
Bud
can.
Light Orange?
Absolutely, I'm on number 3 already. That's 3 in 1 hour, by the way.
Oh my god, chill out. You're not going to make it through 2 shows.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it's just going to get real good.
All right.
Man, when you drink blow,
Stay
you
tuned.
go hard. I guess you could say that you blow hard.
Oh. False.
Well, brought up theaters earlier, Troy, about like drive-ins and stuff. Apparently, theaters are declaring July 10th as a national reopening day.
Okay. That's pretty soon.
Yeah.
That's like a month or month-ish.
Yeah, I don't know there's any like big things coming out in July. I think I saw Tenet finally decided to push their release back to August.
Oh, did they? I thought they were going to hold steadfast on that date, and maybe the theaters would just luckily open up around then. Well, that's probably what they're hoping on. But
Yeah, let me look, because I put it on the calendar just in case. Yeah, Tenet's coming out like August 1st now, I think. Or no, July 31st.
okay. I'm
not gonna lie. I'm pretty excited for theaters to open up. Like, I want to go and have a big old bucket of popcorn and watch a movie at a theater again.
Are you? I was just gonna ask if either one of you would be like willing to go, because I don't even know if I would. Just like I know they'll probably have to follow certain guidelines and only a certain amount of people in the showing. I'm assuming, but I don't know. Just sitting in a cramped room with a bunch of people, probably just sick as fuck. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not quite ready yet. But even that's like even like when some restaurants opened up to have like limited seating, I'm like, I don't want to sit in there.
I think if I lived in a bigger city, I might be more worried. But working where I work right now at a deli, I see so many people that don't even come close to following the protocols that they lay in place. Where I'm just like, fuck it.
Oh,
yeah,
boy.
I'm kind of in the same boat as far as that. I mean, a bigger
It's kinda
city would
sad
worry
to
me.
say, but it's like, God, like, who gives a shit? I don't know. It's like, I don't know. Hey, be quiet.
I did read an article on our local theater, and I read that I think they're going to have like 2 reclining seats together, and then 6 feet between each of those 2 reclining seats. So it is going to look a lot different.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm sure it will look way different than if it's just normally done, but yeah, I don't know. It's like there's a whole bunch of people taking it seriously, and there's a whole bunch of other people that aren't taking it seriously, and it feels like one of those things where it's like either everyone takes it seriously or they don't.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just odd.
Yeah. Well, I get that. Well, I only say that like even now because like even today, like I woke up and I had like mild flu-like symptoms, and I'm like, shit, this is where I'm done in. But it must have been like just a 24-hour bug or something like that. I feel fine now, but I don't know. I had the chills. I'm like, oh, fuck. Oh my god, that dog!
Calm down, dog.
All
right. Bullshit agrees.
It put a mild sweat on me, is what I was trying to say. So the fear is still with me, just like Bullseye said in Daredevil.
Well, no, I feel you because, like, I don't know, like, even like, in instances where, like, I'll wake up and I choke on my own spit, I'm like, oh, fuck, I got it. So, like...
I was there. I was there a few weeks ago.
So, I don't know, like, the fear's still there, but it's just, like, you see so many other people that aren't taking it seriously, so then it kind of just fucks with you, where it's like, I don't even know if I should keep caring. Like, I want to care, but it's just, I don't know.
I get it. It's been going on for a long time.
I
know. Anything else more uplifting?
Let me see.
Apparently, the Last of Us 2 is like a near perfect game, from what I understand.
Really?
Yeah.
I've heard some shit that it's like super fucking intense.
Oh yeah, I've heard that too, but almost every single reputable review site that I've looked at is giving it a perfect score. And I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah.
I need to get it.
I've already pre-uploaded it and everything, so I'm just waiting for the clock to go down to 0 to start playing it. But yeah, I've started going back and playing the original Last of Us, and I forgot how fucking good that game is.
Yeah, I don't even remember a good chunk of that game, but I remember loving it. Like I think that was like one of the only games in recent history where I like sat down and powered through it, and I tried to get everything. But
yeah,
and then I get to the end and it's like, you beat it like 2%. I'm like, what? I scoured every nook and cranny of that game, I felt like, but apparently not.
Yeah. It's like the one game, like, Molly hates watching me play video games, but it's like the one game Molly's like, I don't mind if you play in front of me, just because it's like, the whole thing is such a good story, and there's like levels in there that are fucking freaky as shit. Like, I just played the one not too long ago where, like, you're like going through a hotel with Ellie, and then like you get to that part where you're both on an elevator and she gets up and you don't. So you have to like go through like a dark basement by yourself where you hear all these weird ass sounds.
Oh yeah.
It's like, Jesus Christ.
I remember that.
I was on the edge of my seat that whole fucking level.
That one
you guys lost me on game.
Sorry. If you ever get the chance to play the game, Cole, The Last of Us is really great, and the sequel's coming out very soon.
Yeah.
Can you play it on a PS3?
Yes. You can play the first one on the PS3.
Yeah, the first one's on a PS3.
Well, hot damn, then this so hot take over here might be in.
And I think I even have the disc if you want to borrow it. Like, I'm...
Oh, really?
Yeah, you wouldn't even have to buy it. I'll sling it over. I'll just peek my head out my window right now and try to throw it up the street.
Hope the wind
I'll be looking for it.
Hope the wind takes it like the feather in Forrest Gump.
Well, my Survivor Island tiki torches tell me there's not much wind tonight.
Anything else?
Can't wait till we vote someone off.
Oh yeah, that's right. I gotta look up news. You got me all interested while talking about Last of Us.
Sorry.
So I'll fill for a second. The last game I played was Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. That's how behind the times I am.
Oh
wow.
Man,
that's a great game, though.
Oh, it's such a good game.
That was amazing. I played that game hours on end.
I tried to 100% that game, and I gave up. There's like just too many things you can do. But I think that one, like, I like that one still has like a cartoony-ness to it, where they can do like crazy shit, like get jetpacks, and it doesn't feel like totally out there. But then they try to do that same kind of stuff in Grand Theft Auto 5, and it feels a little bit weird because it's a little bit more lifelike. I still like the Grand Theft Auto series for being like weird, like for whatever reason there's just aliens in some level because you're like tripping out or some shit. But I love the Grand Theft Auto series, but I think it like never, even though I love Grand Theft Auto 5, I think San Andreas still might be my favorite one so far.
Yeah, like I think San Andreas is still the biggest map they ever made, isn't it?
5 is still huge.
There's like three cities you can go to in that fucking game.
Yeah, but 5 is still bigger by quite a big margin.
Yeah.
And then maybe I'm thinking of Red Dead though. I'm not sure. Red Dead's pretty big.
Red Dead is pretty big.
But yeah, 5 is great.
Troy 30 Rock.
Yes, I'm aware of it.
30 Rock is doing a return special, and I think they're doing an upfront special in July on NBC. I'm thinking it's kind of along the same lines as like Parks and Rec was when they did theirs. So what do you think of a 30 Rock reunion type episode?
If they're kind of doing it the same way, I don't know.
I think so. They're calling it like an upfront special. So I don't know if it's just going to be like a thing where it's like they find a way to maybe have them on stage doing it or something. I don't know.
Not sure. The Parks and Rec one was funny, but then it was all just like a PSA for keeping safe through like the coronavirus. That's all it really was. Like, hey, don't forget to wash your hands for 40 seconds or whatever. Some parts are funny, but I don't know. If they do the same thing again, I'm like, what are you doing, NBC? Are you that starved for content for your Peacock app? Is this what it's for? Jesus.
It's going to be strictly on Peacock.
Oh, more HBO Max updates.
Oh no! HBO Max Saga, the HBO to the Max Extreme.
Yeah, yes. So, because I've seen the app updated on my phone, I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to bite the bullet. I'm just going to try to stream it to my Chromecast and watch it in this uncomfortable room. And then I try to stream something to the Chromecast, and then it says I have to purchase it. And I'm like, what the fuck? I have it. I can't even watch HBO Now on my phone because it's updated to Max, kind of. Only kind of. God,
I think
damn.
HBO Max just has it in for you. They're just hell bent on making your life a living hell.
Pieces of shit is what they are. Freaking. What kind of shit for brains over there wouldn't put it on a fucking Roku stick? For Christ's sake. God.
I don't know. I got it on my Chromecast and it works perfect.
Yeah, good for you. I don't want to have to pay for HBO Max and also pay for HBO Now because it's through different fucking providers. That'd be $30 I'm paying for HBO that I can only watch one of. Fuck it.
Keep going. You're on a roll.
Oh my god.
God,
this never-ending saga with you and HBO Max.
Goddamn week, it's just the same fucking shit.
God. I don't know why you guys are in such a rivalry. I mean, you two are related. You have the same last name.
I know. I feel we'd be kins, you know?
It's a family rivalry between you and HBO Max.
I can't even believe it. They're doing it to its own. But, yeah, anyway, was there
like a sibling rivalry while you guys were growing up?
I ended up picking Neil over HBO. It's what it was. And maybe that's what did it.
Your parents couldn't keep Neil and HBO, so they picked Neil instead, and now HBO Max has grown up to be this juggernaut of entertainment and is now taking its revenge out on you.
That's right. And Neil now just joins us from time to time.
Damn shame.
I know. It's a crime. It's what they're doing. It's a crime. Lock them up.
Troy, I got some SpongeBob news. I know we're the epitome of SpongeBob news here on Revue.
Yeah.
Nickelodeon has announced for Pride Month that SpongeBob is officially a member of the LGBTQ plus community.
Okay. Cool. Are they ever gonna?
My
Are they ever
my
gonna?
7-year-old daughter is happy.
Good.
Good. Well, I'm glad because that's what I really needed. The kids' input. You know, do they care? Do they even? Are they gonna do anything? Like, what does it mean that he just is asexual or something?
I don't know. I mean,
I hope he's not sexual.
Asexual would
we
mean
want
like
to know. Hey,
not-
SpongeBob, who you fucking?
Wasn't he like a sponge? Don't they reproduce by like budding anyway? Just like pieces come off of them. Is that how sponges work?
I don't.
Are we really debating this? Are we really? Are we?
I thought he was just an actual like a household sponge. He's like in the form of a square.
But he's in the sea. You would assume that they just took the shape to have square
I don't know.
pants. Maybe he's just conforming to the shape of his pants. Did you ever think of that?
Somebody tell us what is the origins of SpongeBob SquarePants? Because he's in the form of like a house sponge. Was he a piece of trash that turned to
a sentient being?
gained sentience and he gains sentience
He walks
through a
around
magical
with a
pair of
sea
square
star that
pants?
wears shorts.
Is there like a special? There's like a special brand of square pants that can turn inanimate objects into living beings.
Who knows? It's all a mystery.
I don't know. Well, anyways, yep. So SpongeBob's is gay, or I don't know.
Congratulations,
Whatever it is,
SpongeBob.
I'm happy
We're
for him.
We're happy for you, SpongeBob. Live your life
Live your life the way you do in square pants.
in square pants. Cole, I know you'll get a kick out of this. Apparently, there's going to be a biopic in the works on the life of Lemmy Kilmister from Motorhead.
Ooh, you're Motorhead. We're gonna kick your ass.
What does he start off every song like that?
I don't know.
Motorhead, we're gonna kick your ass.
Just remember him from WrestleMania 17, where he just gutturally just says, "Motorhead, we're gonna kick your ass," and then just kind of forgets the lyrics halfway through and just keeps repeating it's all about the game and how you play it.
With that gigantic mole on the side of his face.
Oh yeah. Oh, they totally have to they're gonna have to do prosthetics to put those huge moles on whoever plays Lemmy Kilmister.
Oh my god. I totally forgot that he played Triple H's theme at WrestleMania 17, and he just botched it hard. It starts with premise, and then it's just all about the game and how you play it for like 9 minutes of his whole intro or whatever it is.
Oh yeah, and I'm pretty he just says different amalgamations of "I am the game" throughout. Like, I am the game and I am the game.
It's so good though.
But so there you go, Lemmy Kilmister. We'll get to know the man behind the legend that is the WrestleMania 17 entrance of Triple H.
Good. I needed a backstory on this.
I hope that's what the movie's about.
Just that performance.
Just that one performance, and then they work their way back from there. Like it's like the beginning of Walk Hard, but it's Lemmy Kilmister getting ready for the WrestleMania 17 entrance of Triple H.
Oh my god. Speaking of Walk Hard.
Quiet, son. Lemmy Kilmister has to think about his entire life before he brings Triple H to the ring at WrestleMania 17.
He has to think about his entire life before he kicks your ass as Motorhead.
Well, my last bit of news, the Oscars finally has a new date due to all this coronavirus stuff. The Oscars will be airing in April of 2021.
Okay. Sure.
Instead of, I think it's usually February?
Yeah, I think it's like early February or late January. I can't remember. Something around there.
Yeah.
Right on.
Troy, do you need a few seconds to calm down from that news? You're pretty excited.
I literally did. You like my nonchalant? Oh, okay, cool.
That was pretty good.
Guys, look, the white line over here is going insane. Troy's definitely got a boner.
I just figured they were gonna just skip him. Like, who cares? Like, screw Chris Nolan and his freaking Tenet movie. Sorry, no Oscars this year. Because, like, what movie... that movie is just gonna win all of them, you know? Like, what else is coming out? I guess Wonder Woman might be still coming out.
Bloodshot's gonna win for best for best special effects.
Bloodshot. I'm so glad I found that movie free on YouTube. Well, that might bring us right into a new segment we like to call It's Done. Do we have any trailers this week?
It's done.
Anything from you over there, JT?
I got one.
I got 0, so go ahead.
Okay. Well, the one that I have, it's got Andy Samberg, and it's got the mom from How I Met Your Mother in a movie called Palm Springs, which I think is supposed to be debuting on Hulu July 10th? I don't know. I can't see it. It's too small. But anyways, it's pretty much like it's like a weird retelling of Groundhog Day, kind of.
Okay.
Where, like, Andy Samberg is this guy that's been stuck living the same day over and over again forever, and then he found some way to drag this woman he went on one date with into it with him. And, like, they're both kind of, like, dealing with the fact that they have, like, they're living with no consequences.
All right. I guess that sounds okay. I'm hot and cold on Sandberg sometimes. I used to be a real big fan of his, but now anything lately I'm just like, I don't know. Besides like Lonely Island Boy stuff. I don't know.
Lonely Island Boy.
The Lonely Island Boys. You know, like the group, the boys.
Okay.
Listen, don't get hot on me. I'm already hot from HBO Max, okay? Don't fucking jump down my throat about the Lonely Island Boys.
We could just say the Lonely Island, but okay.
I meant like the Lonely Island group, but the boys in it. They are the projects that they do, whether it be music or film, you fucker. God.
Well, even the Lonely Island.
Yeah, fuck me, right? Fuck me, the Lonely Island.
Anyways, Palm Springs, check it out.
Oh, perfect. You got any trailers you've seen recently there, buddy boy there, Cole?
Oh my god. Absolutely not.
Yeah,
no.
Same here.
I am so out of the movie loop. It's crazy because nothing's out right now. It's crazy.
Nothing. Absolutely nothing. That's why we've been reduced to finding things like Zardoz. No spoilers. Well, that'll bring us right into the tournament of random movies. JT, what we got going on? I checked this one out right before we started recording because I thought I forgot to vote on this, and I didn't. But man, almost a landslide in this one, huh?
People cannot get enough of that Princess Bride, bruh.
I know. I noticed it was like 70-30. I was like, holy smokes.
Yeah. Also,
Andre.
I think it was Rita that pointed out that it was Dread versus the Dread Pirate Scott or whatever.
Oh yeah. Good on her.
I forgot that there was actually a character in Princess Bride called the Dread Pirate.
Golly. She's probably cursing you out right now.
She is.
For fun.
That pregnant idiot.
Jesus.
The pregnant idiot. But congrats on having a girl.
Yes. Just having a girl, everybody.
What a treat. What a treat for that young lady, who's the same age as me.
It was funny when it got announced because everyone almost unanimously said, "We can't see you having a girl."
Yeah, I mean, I would say the same. But, you know, who knew? You just change, you know? You just get a little soft. That's it.
There you go. Old Reed Skeets ain't gonna go soft.
Oh, she's got to keep her hard edge. She's hard.
He needs that hard edge.
That baby girl's gonna come out hard.
Oh, yeah. You better believe.
She's gonna come out smoking cigarettes with her hat backwards.
Doing hood rat stuff with her friends already.
She's gonna be stealing her grandma's car and running it all over that Florida town.
Fun to do bad things.
I just want to do bad things. Damn Demarius or Lemarius or Letarius, whatever his name was.
You just wanted to pinch his little cheeks, though. He's such an adorable little kid.
That was so awesome.
Car and you say the exact same thing, Troy.
How can I stay mad at you?
Oh, you're so cute. You just destroyed my car.
Graham was like,
I'm gonna do bad things.
Well, does that?
By the way,
we got our next match. What?
What'd you say, Cole?
We got our next match in the. Hey, I'm talking.
Sorry. Go ahead.
We got our next match in the Termarana movies.
The next match, you say?
Yes. Hey, it's our next match, and it's a movie from 2019, which is based on a children's show, and a movie from 1993 that stars someone who also stars in another movie that's already in this tournament.
Okay.
I will look up the tagline for the first one if you guys want to guess.
Is it the first one one of the Mr. Rogers movies?
It is not.
Okay.
Is it Barney?
Oh my God, Cole, you got it. It was the Barney movie that came out in 2019.
I mean, I don't remember that movie, but I'll watch it if it happened.
Is it Barney?
I have the tagline here, if you guys want me to give it.
Yes.
The tagline is, Explorer is her middle name.
Oh, God.
Dora!
God. Okay.
Dora and the Lost City of Gold
Oh, boy.
is our next movie
Oh,
in the
boy.
Termarana movies.
Oh, God. Okay.
And it'll go one-on-one with a movie from 1993 that stars someone that stars in another movie already in the tournament. What do you think it is?
I have no idea.
Milk Money.
What?
I don't know. Mrs. Doubtfire.
Jesus Christ, you got it! It's Mrs. Doubtfire!
Oh, shit.
Are you kidding? What? That was a total guess. I need to drink blows more often.
What?
You definitely blew that one out your ass. So there you go. Dora and the Lost City of Gold versus Mrs. Doubtfire.
Good deal. So what other movie is this actor in? Did I already forget?
Hook!
Oh, yeah, Hook. Yeah. Doi, oi, oi. Doi, oi, oi. Don't fucking tisk at me.
Listen here, Lonely Island boy.
Oh.
We, as a family, just watched Mrs. Doubtfire. We exposed the kids to it for the first time like a month ago. Oh my God, that movie holds up like no other. It is so good.
Dude, even Pierce Brosnan's really fucking good in it.
It's just like everybody is awesome in that movie.
Pierce Brosnan is like the scumbag like guy trying to move in. He does such a good job of just being this fucking disheveled like playboy. Just be like, why is this old woman acting so fucking weird in front of me?
Oh, it's awesome.
Well, that'll bring us right to the top of the hour, the main event of the evening. This is what we're all here for. We're talking Zardoz, peeps. That's right. It came out February 6th, 1974. Had a budget of $1 million and only took in $1.8 million because it only showed in the U.S. and Canada. So it didn't.
I was going to say it only showed in a dude's basement somewhere.
This didn't show anywhere else. Rotten Tomatoes is at 48%, IMDb 5.9 out of 10, and Metacritic 46%. I actually have a bit of news on its low box office. So, people were so disgusted when they would come out of this movie, like in droves. They would just be like, just physically looking upset. And so, like, that caused people to just turn around in line and just not see a movie. Like, it was that bad. We're, like, the time the money is in their hand to give it to the cashier, they're like, I don't think so. I'm gonna go home and do anything else. Because in 1974, you don't have multiplexes full of movies. There's like a few things out at a time, and that's about it. So it was like Zardoz and maybe something else, and that's it. So
was it the soapy tits? It was the soapy tits.
It was probably the soapy tits. We do have mail for this, and I would like to read it right now. It's from our buddy, good old Eric, King Kong Eric himself.
Oh my god, what an old piece of shit.
And he writes...
Are you sure he didn't send it by actual mail or telegraph?
I think the Pony Express delivered it.
He writes, so...
Actually, didn't you copy this through smoke signals that he was sending to you, Troy?
Listen, no comment. I do know how he sent it, and I will tell you at the end of this. So the hashtag oldest man alive refreshed his memory on the Zardoz. I'm sorry I did. A couple of thoughts. 1, was Connery high when he said yes to this? And 2, this might be the worst movie ever. I'm not sure I've seen a worse movie than this. He goes on to say, I blame T-Max for this since he picked out this cinematic pile of garbage. I'll go now and try to purge this from my memory again. This was 1 hour and 46 minutes stolen from a person at my advanced age that I'll never get back. My grade, F-. On a side note, nice to hear you guys recording together again in studio. Well, it'll happen again soon. Don't worry about it. That was sent from his iPhone. So there you go.
Well,
that's a little.
Go, drink some of that peanut butter whiskey and forget about this movie.
So that was a little tidbit of info from a friend of the show right there. A fun fact on this also, Disney now owns this movie.
Why? Why?
Because they acquired 20th Century Fox, which also produced this movie back in 1974. So now Disney owns this movie. It's a fun little Disney flick.
They need to do the opposite of what they're doing now and make an animated remake of Zardoz.
Yeah. And when I was looking up the director of this a little bit, because I figure, I'm like, this has to be like a first-time director. It is not. Like, it is the guy who made Deliverance, which is like pretty highly lauded as like a good movie. Like, it's and he also made a few other like war movies in the 60s that I think were pretty good. I can't remember what they are off the top of my head now, but they were really good. And then, but immediately after this, he makes The Exorcist 2, which is also gone down to be one of the most incomprehensible and weirdest, dumbest movies of all time. But he continued to still make movies after that, and I'm just astounded. Like, none of them to any high acclaim, of course. But, yeah, we're here talking Zardoz. Anybody want to try to give a synopsis on this thing?
Well, before you get too far, maybe I read this wrong. I don't know. I'm 4 Bud Light Oranges deep now. Was Burt Reynolds supposed to play the part that Sean Connery played in this movie? Did you guys read that?
Yeah, he was supposed to play the character of Zed, and then he got sick or something, or another film came up and he had to do that, and so they chose Sean Connery because I actually have to go back on what I said last week. Sean Connery didn't take this because he didn't understand Star Wars. That is not true.
Yeah, because Star Wars was made like 3 years after this.
Yes, and so I was mistaken on that quote. It had to be something else, but he was actually done making James Bond movies at this time. And so he was trying not to get typecasted as the same character, same type of character, even though I don't know why you'd have anything wrong with being like a super suave, totally gets to bang every chick. Like, he kind of is a more rapey version of that in this.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say. So he goes from being an English spy rapist to being a diaper-clad barbarian rapist.
Yes. So he was actually having trouble finding work, and so he chose to do this because when he was asked, he didn't have anything else going on, I guess. And so he did this. And there you go. I bet
he regretted it immediately.
I don't know. I have a few other stories I'm going to bring up for Sean Connery like later on. But yeah, Sean Connery is in this due to lack of work. And he wanted to continue being a working actor, I guess. After he made some of the most iconic movies of all time, he did this. How about it? But anyone want to try to do a synopsis on this thing?
Oh my god, I have an idea for this. How about all three of us try and say, or we go around trying to say a sentence of what it's about.
All right, you start.
Okay, so there's an evolved version of humans called, what is it, intellectuals?
Oh, geez, I didn't know you were going so high def into this. All right, keep going.
Someone else has to take over.
Oh, that's where you're just going to stop?
Yeah. I didn't make this shit easy.
Okay. Let me see. I'll go next.
There's, along with the evolved group of individuals called intellectuals, there are diaper-clad men running around on horses.
Those diaper-clad men are known as the exterminators, who work under the god of the titular character, Zardoz.
And one of them happens to break away, called Zed, played by Sean Connery, who is brought into the world of the intellectuals, where I guess they just do experiments on his dick. And, like, yeah. I don't know. They fuck with him, and I don't know. I've already lost interest in this game.
I think a main important thing that we need to know is that he is brought into this world on a...
Try to explain the plot of Zardoz. I'll have Molly explain it.
Oh, yes, please.
God.
Explain the plot of Zardoz.
I don't even know where to start. Like...
I love how it's just stunned you into silence.
I'm put on the spot right now. Well, what was that thing that you said? That it was the last part of something.
Oh, that's later.
Oh,
Anyways.
okay. I'm
Molly,
gonna leave now.
Okay, Molly failed.
Yeah, I failed.
See, this movie just kills people. It just does them in.
Yep, she's
so-
dead.
Zed ends up being, he ends up going into one of the evolved one's vortex by escaping in the giant head of Zardoz. And inside, totally uproots their whole society they have going on, and turns their lives around. Also, there's a bunch of soapy titties in this. So,
Bunch of soapy titties.
there. Synopsis over. There you go. There you have it. This movie was way more erotic than I thought it was ever. I never remember this being maybe considered a slightly softcore porn. I don't know. Is it? I mean, it's not really, but there's a lot. I think I know why Sean Connery said it would agree to be in this movie. Because he gets to manhandle women, and he gets to see all the boobs he wants.
Oh, he's grabbing the shit out of tits in this.
How about when he just absolutely picks up that woman? I know we're jumping ahead a little bit, but when he picks up that woman like in that farmhouse and just throws her into that pile of straw.
Oh, yeah. I
What
want
the
the
Lord?
Yeah, Sean Connery's the protagonist in this, and he's a full-out rapist.
Yes.
Even down to a scene where he's about to rape someone, and then when he sees that they're so docile that it's just not fun, he throws them in a pile of straw.
He really chucks her, too.
Yeah.
You wouldn't expect out of,
Oh my God, so hard.
This is the protagonist of the movie.
I guess I would expect, a ton of strength from, the physique of Sean Connery. He just looks like he has, a dad bod from, the 70s, you know? He's not, super cut or anything like that. He looks like he's got my dad's physique. That's what it looks like.
He's got a farm body.
Yeah, he's got a farm bod.
Troy, I'm going to be weirded out as fuck if you put your dad in the place of Sean Connery in this movie.
Why? Because you have to work with him?
Picturing your dad?
No, I didn't watch this movie picturing my dad, so stop putting that thought into the ether, you prick.
I mean, in all sincerity, if anyone were to pull off this scenario and make it make sense, it would be your dad.
Okay, let's take it easy, all right? Let's not say things we can't take back, all right? So yeah, this it starts out right at the beginning already too bizarre. With that floating head with the drawn-on mustache and beard and the frickin' bath towel he has wrapped around his head or whatever it is. That scene was added to make the movie make more sense. And it didn't.
What?
It made it worse. It made it absolutely more worse.
Yeah. It didn't even explain anything. He just showed up and said, "This probably doesn't exist. I'm smart." That's pretty much it. And it's that's supposed to explain the movie?
Yeah, it was added so it could make more sense. And for a while, it wasn't making much sense at all. There is a moment where it finally clicked in, and I'm like, okay, I kind of see where they're going with this. And then I kind of rode that for a good portion of the movie, and then at the end, I'm like, what are they even talking about anymore? And then it lost me again. When it started talking about crystals, I'm like, what the fuck are you doing?
I forgot
When the
about
crystals came in. Oh my God, I was so confused. I thought that I missed something in the movie.
They just start showing up. But I found it quite compelling. Well, I'm not gonna say compelling. That's a strong word. I found it I found it coherent in like the second act where he's in the vortex and he's like learning about the society and you're kind of figuring out like how it all works. And there's like these high intellectuals and there's these apathetic people and they can't die anymore. And so their punishment is just to get aged. And so then when you're too old, they send you off into this like this always like New Year's Eve party going on in this like old folks home,
like a nursing home community.
Yeah.
This weird dance hall.
Yeah. That it's always like the roaring 20s in there or something like that, but everyone is 900 years old. But at that point in time, I'm like, okay, I'm kind of getting behind this movie now. It's still very bizarre. And there's like very trippy moments where they like have him go into like a glass pyramid and like I don't even remember what happens in there anymore. Like maybe she's reading his memories. I can't remember. But the fact is
that was kind of the shit that I was more into when they were going into like more of Zed's backstory, like all that shit.
Yeah.
It was like because for the most part, like in the first like hour of this, you're just following him, not even knowing how the fuck he got here. Like the first time you see him, he's listening to a stonehead tell him that his penis is evil. And then he turns around and shoots you in the face. He breaks the fourth wall to shoot you in the face. And you're like, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah, and he doesn't even talk for like the first 45 minutes of this movie.
Yeah.
He barely says a word. If not,
that's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know if it's 45 minutes, but it's a long time, like, before he even starts talking. And even when he does, he doesn't say much.
No.
Hold on. Let us not forget the very beginning of this movie with the floating head.
Oh, yeah, you must have, like, had to walk away for a minute. That floating head, I'll tell you right now, Cole, that was added to the movie to have it make more sense. Yeah.
Oh my god.
And it didn't do it. And I fucking hated that guy, alright? I wanted Zed to shoot him like 900 times. Like, that guy sucked.
Oh yeah, what an annoying character.
I'm glad, like, that guy is Zardoz. He tells you right out in the beginning, that's me, I'm Zardoz, or am I? What is this real? I don't know. Watch the movie. That's like
that character like struck me as like the avatar of like whoever made this, and it feels like whoever made this has a high opinion of themselves because that character keeps coming in, always having the answers and talking about how smart he is.
Yeah.
Even like down to where like when there's like scenarios where like oh maybe this isn't what we thought it was. Maybe it was something else all along. And he comes back and says, no, it was all part of my plan. I'm still so smart. Like,
yeah.
Fuck you. Fuck this.
And then when I didn't like the friend character at first, the guy who ends up turning into like Two-Face.
Yeah.
He kind of grew on me a little bit, but then when he met up with what is even that guy's name? Zardoz. The guy who actually is Zardoz. Like, I found them insufferable. They were fucking insufferable. Yeah.
Like, it just feels like whoever made this put that character in as, like, an avatar for himself. And, like, they treat this movie like he's, like, a fucking kid that says, well, I have invincibility powers, so you can't kill me. Like, that whole scene where, like, Sean Connery comes up and shoots him, and then instead of dying, he just says, oh no, and then just like flies away.
Yeah, he doesn't like, fall. He just like
kind
of floats around and then does whatever.
Yeah. And then he comes back and then he's like, oh, you're falling into my plan. I wanted this to happen. I'm like, fuck you.
Yeah, his name is Arthur. And like that, I found that even annoying too, because like Sean Connery's name is Zed. There's a character named Consuela. There's a guy just known as Friend and Avalao, and then his name is Arthur. Like you suck. You suck, Arthur. You and your fucking bath towel on your head, you stupid piece of shit.
Yeah, he looks like he's starring in like a middle school production of Aladdin.
Or like the Prince of Egypt or some shit like that.
Yeah.
So a funny thing I found when I was doing some research on this too, there's one point where Connery is in like a cage once he's in like the intellectual's vortex and like being captured like an animal or whatever. And they actually have a live baboon on set. Well, they could only afford to rent like only like one animal, so they also had a guy in a baboon suit in another cage, and that baboon attacked and mauled the guy in the baboon suit. That would scare the shit out of me.
Only on this movie.
Oh my god. I actually thought that the director John Borman was that Arthur character, because I mean, why wouldn't it be? It just seems like from a guy who wrote, directed, and produced this movie himself would also star in like a large role, and it's not, but he does appear in this movie. And there's another fun fact where it's Sean Connery it's like a backstory where he's showing like all like the other people in the Outlands like how to grow wheat, or forcing them to grow wheat, and it's a bunch of the people with like sticks poking in the ground. Well, he's the one that Sean Connery shoots with a gun and kills him. But there was an actual blank in that gun, and the stuffing of the bullet got lodged in the director's head and didn't come out for weeks.
God!
Jesus!
Yeah, that's fucked up. The blanks in fucking guns, man, scare the shit out of me. Like,
that's how fucking
Brandon Lee died. Yeah. But yeah, he just got shot in the head by pretty close range with this blank, and the stuffing got lodged in his head. Insane.
Jesus.
Another fun fact about John Borman, while I'm on the subject, is that right before this, he was going to, I don't know if like a studio chose this or not, but he was going to actually make the Lord of the Rings movies like in the 70s. And he
What?
Yeah, he was gonna do J.R.R. Tolkien's freaking Lord of the Rings.
I would have loved that.
And it didn't obviously happen. I think the studio thought he needed too much money or something, or they didn't like his vision for whatever reason. But because he's already did enough research on that, like it got him like thinking of like weird, outlandish kind of like ideas, like expanding his mind, and that's how he came up with this movie, because he got turned down to do Lord of the Rings. And I'm like, that means you can never have time on your hands, dude, because this movie is something else.
Yeah, this movie feels like a college thesis paper where like the teacher goes up and asks like, so what's your thesis paper on? And the student says, everything. Because this movie has a few cool ideas here and there, but it never elaborates on them. So it feels like one of those movies where like it says so much that by the end you realize it absolutely nothing.
Yeah. I don't even know if it's trying to make any commentary on anything, like to live life and not live forever, I guess. I don't know. Or the penis isn't as evil as what you made it out to be in the beginning. I'm not sure. Because even though
I got a lot of penis talk out of this one.
They said that like second line of the movie. Like, I am Zardoz, guns are good, the penis is evil. I'm like, okay, this is an odd beginning. It's going real strong, real hard in the first seconds of this. But it seemed like everybody seemed to be very interested in it for the remainder of the movie.
Yeah, I don't know. I was kind of gathering like the whole beginning part of like, I think this is me just trying to make sense out of something that probably doesn't make any sense at all. But like all of like the Brutals or whatever, I think they were kind of like taken as like this lower class society, and this is like how like society tries to treat them, where it's like you fit this certain purpose, but we don't want you procreating because we don't want more of you.
Yeah, but even though they wanted Zed to do it.
Yeah, they were like, okay, Zed, you're the one that can make more of them. but we don't want too many of them. So you can go ahead and, like, rape some people. God. He's the fucking protagonist.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, one could argue he does change.
How?
He doesn't become as rapey and seems a little bit more consensual and intellectual
No,
at
he
the
murders
end.
everyone.
He doesn't murder everyone at the end.
He leads to the murder of a lot of people.
Yeah, but I don't... How much
That
time...
ending scene is crazy.
How much time passes at the last, like, moments of this movie? Because he maybe time passing for him is different at a moment, like, because everybody else seems to be about the same, and he goes in and learns everything. Oh my god, I don't even fucking know. This is when the crystals all showed up. I don't know what really was going on.
Alright, so, since we're jumping all around and shit, this movie has the most stupid twist I've ever seen in a movie.
Go
The
ahead.
fucking twist in this is so fucking ridiculous that me and Molly had to pause the movie to laugh at it.
Go ahead. just
okay.
There's no spoilers
no.
in this.
So, when they start using those crystals to look into fucking Sean Connery's past or whatever,
Yeah.
they find that he's been reading a bunch of books and shit.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
So, like,
Oh, I know what you're getting at.
yeah. So, like, the reason why he's different from all the other Brutals is because he's, like, gaining knowledge because he found this library, he's reading all these books. And how he finds out that Zardoz is not the god he claims to be is that he finds the fucking Wizard of Oz and then covers the W-I and the of and then puts it together that Zardoz is just a man pretending to be a god.
Yep. And so immediately afterwards, he buries himself in wheat and then shoots Arthur out of mouth. which makes no sense when I say it that way, but that's what happened.
But the movie treats it where it's like, it was in front of you all along, you should have seen it. Or it's like, no, because it's so fucking stupid, you shouldn't even be able to see it.
Why would anybody ever come up with that conclusion? Like that's
Zardoz.
Yeah. You'd have to. He literally has to like maneuver his hands in a weird way to make Zardoz out of the title of the Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, I would also have to double down on that and say when that was revealed, I'm like, okay, that seems like a stretch and didn't need to be included in this movie.
Yeah. Well, but it fucking, like, the movie treats it like it's a fucking Kaiser Soze moment where, like, the music swells and it's just like, oh my god, people are losing their fucking minds over how fucking smart this is. It's the dumbest thing I've ever seen in terms of a twist to a movie. Like, no one should have ever been able to fucking put that together because it makes no sense to put that together.
Right.
I watched the movie by myself, and at that moment, I seriously said to myself, out loud, I go, what the fuck?
I think everybody is like that. It's never like any like aha moment. It's who the fuck cares? Like what are you doing with this?
Yeah.
Because later on,
How does, like,
it's
putting your finger over two parts of a title make you put together the entire plot of something? I don't even think he read the book. He just saw the title and was like, oh, he's not a god.
He didn't read the book. He ran through that library and just like went like he was on like fucking Grocery Games or something and just knocked shit down.
I did not expect a Grocery Games reference to be brought up. That really tickled me for whatever reason.
Or supermarket sweep, whatever you want to call it.
Oh. So Sean Connery was not, I guess, as bad on set as you may have wondered. It did seem like he didn't really care to be in this movie a whole bunch. And maybe that just by looking at his performance, because I was kind of watching it like, does he even like doing this? Like, I can't tell. But I mean, he does get to like grab a bunch of boobs, and he's probably all for that. So like, maybe he loved it. I'm not sure. But like, there was a point in this movie where he did try to choke out a cameraman. And let me tell you this right now. And so at the very, very end of this movie, there is an aging scene where he sits down, I think with Consuela, maybe, and they age together. Because at this point, like, he's become enlightened. He is he was able to breed with somebody for the first time in like a long time on the intellectuals side or whatever. And then they have like a child, and you see the child grow as they age. And I'm like, okay, well, this is a fun ending, I guess. Well, Sean Connery hates being in prosthetic makeup. So he, the first time they did it, they accidentally like exposed the film in the camera to the light, and it ruined everything. And so they called him back to do it again. And then the cameraman did it again and exposed the film again after they did it. Because this whole scene took hours to film, like progressively making them older and older and older. And so every single time they did it, he fucking ruined the film by exposing it to light. And the second time he did it, it took 3 grips to get Sean Connery off of this cameraman by trying to choke him to death, because he's so angry that he had to be in prosthetic makeup again that I'm even surprised he did it for a third time. But like the third time is the last time that he did it. And that was actually one of the points where I laughed out loud in the movie, where they just turned into skeletons. And for whatever reason, I found that very funny, and that the 2 skeletons are sitting there together. And then the movie is like done. And I'm like, what? Okay. And then it's just like 2 little cave painting hands on the wall. And I'm like, is this supposed to symbolize something? Like, this is like the beginning of time? Or what? What is happening here? And it can't be.
Penis.
For me, it was like, I kind of saw it as like, I wonder if like the director is like a fan of like families, because he almost kind of treats it as like the movie is like, here is the most interesting part of the lives of these 2 people, and then he like fast forwards to the rest of their life. It's like, yeah, they have a kid, but they just kind of do whatever, and I don't know. And then they go to the end when they're dead, and they zoom in on like the 2 hands, and then they show like Sean Connery's like 6-shooters like rusting away right next to him. So it's like I think he's trying to say like, I don't know, like once you have like a certain amount of time where you do something interesting, and that you become everyone else, or you have a family and you're...
Sure. I also found it weird that...
I don't know, man. I think you thought way too much into that.
I have to do it for shit like this, otherwise I'll lose my fucking mind.
I also found it weird that Consuela ended up being the one falling for Zed instead of like that scientist. Because
I don't know. It was weird. Like, it was kind of like a... It feels like this movie felt like a fucking... a weird nerd in his basement tried to make a fucking romance that doesn't know how people work. It was like, yeah, it's like a meet cute where they're the exact opposite. They just don't get each other, but then they fuck.
And then this chick gets sexually assaulted, and then she ends up falling in love with him, but then Consuela says that's bestiality, and then she ends up doing him anyway. Like, what is happening?
God, the weird sex shit in this. Like that orgy that takes place because they start drinking his sweat.
Oh, yeah. That. So, I also want to back up a little bit because I was watching this by myself, and then it started getting to the point where they first captured Zed, and they're talking about how to give him a boner, right? And they start trying to, like, explain how a boner works, and they're not even sure how it works anymore. And, like, maybe exposing it to, like, visual stimulation will do something. And so they start showing, like, pornographic images on the screen and a drawing of a dick getting hard. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Oh my god, yeah. When they showed the drawing of the dick getting hard, I was like, can you even show that in Like, I thought you're not even supposed to even show erect penises in movies.
That drawing of the dick killed me. when it's soft, and then the next one is like, oh, Boner City.
And that was the point that my 3-year-old daughter came down the stairs and was like, what are you watching?
Oh, no.
And I'm like, ugh, get the soapy titties off the screen.
Yeah. Fucking Sean Connery standing as stoic as possible while there's a fucking big screen of soapy titties being rubbed.
And, like, so before that, there's quite a bit of, like, topless women in this, which I don't find that, like, offensive at all, and I don't really mind that Macy sees it, I guess, in the context of some things. So I was kind of okay with her being around. Like, there's a bit of stuff I don't really want her to see, and so I would, like, kind of cover her eyes here and there. She didn't see a whole lot, but then when me and you, Joel, got in a bit of an argument. It's like, I didn't know this movie would get so erotic or whatever. And you're like, it's erotic the whole way through. And I was saying, like, it definitely has a leap in eroticism when they're trying to give this guy a Woody and rubbing soapy titties all over, and your 3-year-old comes down the stairs.
Yeah.
So, and then after that, there's not, like, hardly anything for a while. And then that's when it finally, like, gets into, like, something that I can actually mildly understand, is that after that point, until the sweat orgy comes in at the end. Which was uncomfortable to watch. Sweat orgy's
really fucking weird.
It was uncomfortable to watch. Just like, and it wasn't even like, it was like an open love type of thing. It was just like, this is gross. Like this.
Yeah. It's like they're all drawn to his, like, animal magnetism by drinking his sweat. And they're not even, like, fucking, they're just, like, rubbing each other and moaning.
It's just a weird kiss orgy. It's so fucking weird. But then later on, not that far from then, is like a legit orgy going on in the old folks' yard. Like,
oh yes! That's right!
I forgot about that one.
They're just people, like, going insane, mowing down on each other, and, like, these old folks are running around. At this point, Sean Connery is in a wedding dress. And I'm like,
that's right, I forgot about the wedding dress!
Like, this movie has taken a turn.
I totally forgot Sean Connery's in a fucking wedding dress for no reason.
And all he's trying to do is, like, what? Like, evade the other intellectuals? Is that what it is?
Yeah. So he takes on the disguise of a wedding dress?
Like, who is this freaking 6'7" bride that's over here with the extremely hairy arms?
It was like there was like an ongoing bet where it's like, there's no way Sean Connery can look more ridiculous than how he looks through 75% of this movie. And then the director's like, want to bet? Stuff his big ass in a wedding dress at the very end.
How'd you like the intellectuals mode of dress, which is like a mesh tank top, but with, like, one button closure at, like, a cleavage for men and women? Like, that was an odd look, I thought.
Yeah. I know, like, even, like, the women are dressed for, like, easy access for fucking Sean Connery to grab their tits, because he does.
Yes.
Like, every time he meets, like, a new woman, he's just like, whoop, there we go, just slide the hand right up, because it's easy access to grab them tits.
And
he does it a lot, to, like, almost all of them.
It seemed like they were just designed for any movement of a woman for them just to fall out. Like, that's why they were designed. Yeah. Like, why even have them at this point?
They were designed for Sean Connery to grab them.
I mean, of course. I am mistaken. But yeah, what about that's like that dinner table scene? That seems like it goes on forever when they're like shunning that friend into being at the old folks' home. And like,
oh my God, I wanted something to happen.
Yeah.
It just went on for like 5 minutes of him getting older or something.
he was just like, everybody is just standing and like, I don't know, cursing him, like using their magic. I don't know what's going on, just flailing their fingers around, moaning. And I'm like, this sucks. This is uncomfortable to watch. I don't like this. And it went on for, I felt like ever. And then they just carried him out of there. And then he wasn't seen again until he's all old face, young face.
Yeah. I don't know how they made him get away with like being both young and old, where his like friend is so powerful that he can't be completely old. I don't fucking know.
I don't either. I would have to, if I could applaud them on one thing, I think their old age makeup looks pretty good.
Yeah, it wasn't bad, especially for being like in the early 70s. I thought it looked pretty decent.
Especially when you can see, especially like on the friend character, like his old age makeup and his young face like side by side. I'm like,
yeah, it
this
blended pretty well
good
together.
If I could give it any accolade, there it is. Good old age makeup.
That's the only accolade.
Cole, do you have any other notes on this? Or what?
I did not take. This was not a Star Warranty. I did not take notes on this.
That's fine.
I watched this for pure enjoyment, and there was hardly any. No, just what a totally, completely, 100% fucked up movie.
So I was also talking with a friend of the show, OJ, about this because he was also going to catch it since it's on Hulu. And he sent a really nice nugget to me, which I might put in the description of this audio, that he found a director's commentary online to this, which I have yet to listen to. I was trying to fit it in, but I ended up just couldn't do it. But like, I have the hyperlink and everything, so I'm going to put it in the description of this podcast. So if anyone wants to listen to it, go for it. But it's quite funny because he was even saying he listened to it, and he says it's almost as, quote, good as the movie itself. So I'm kind of excited for it if it's just as awkward to listen to as it was to watch. Because he's like, there's some comments he makes where you can just tell he's disappointed in how the movie turned out. Which I'm all for. I am all for. So yeah.
Oh, man.
That might be kind of fun.
I know.
Yeah.
I might want to check that out sooner than later before I lose any kind of interest in it at all.
And I'm kind of curious about it now, too, because, I don't know, just watching this, it felt like he was so full of himself making this. Like, it felt like something that while he was making it, he's like, God damn it, I'm so fucking good. Everything is done, like, even the bad shit feels like it's done with such confidence. Like, God, I'm making such a fucking masterpiece right now. Like, this is like the kind of bad movie that I love, where you can almost kind of see the inner insanity of the person making it.
Oh, yeah. I can't even imagine where he went from his mindset of making Lord of the Rings to be like, I think I'm going to make this instead. Like, where was that jump in logic? My God.
And there's like aspects of it that I think would be good if he just focused on them, but I think he tries to do too much, and I think he just made it too weird. Like, if he tried to stem it in any kind of thing that a person can relate to, it might have worked. But God, just having people run around in red diapers and dress like fucking like people that are doing a middle school rendition of Stargate. Like, it looks like it's just so weird in every single aspect that it's like it's overwhelming. Like, you can't connect to anything.
No, and right as you think you get it, it just takes a turn.
Yeah, when they give you a big set of soapy titties.
Just when you think you know the answers, Zardoz changes the question. I have to say, I had such a laugh out loud moment towards the end when the big stone head drops and they do the camera shake of everybody watching it.
I noticed that too. They didn't even react. They just shook the camera.
They just told every actor to stand still, and they just shook the camera, and it was the best thing ever.
I was hoping they would stick to like the Wizard of Oz thing, and it would like crush someone, and then their fucking like feet would stick out underneath it.
I'm surprised that it didn't.
Oh my. Well, does anyone have anything else about this movie at all? Because I'm about.
So, I got like something. So like, I finished the show The Good Place.
Yes.
And I had this discussion with Molly because we finished it all together, and she's kind of on the fence about it, but I'm pretty certain. Like, I almost kind of want to like see if Michael Schur like ever Zardoz, because I feel like the last 3 episodes of The Good Place are a better retelling of the movie of Zardoz.
Oh, really? Well,
yeah.
Also, in other popular media, I know Dan Harmon, the guy who created Rick and Morty, loves Zardoz. And so that's why those big floating heads, when they have to make like the best song ever, are there. Because they're directly ripped off of Zardoz.
And I'm pretty sure there's like a character that wears like the fucking shit that Zed wears. I want to say that I've seen that in a Rick and Morty.
Oh, probably 100%.
Where they wear the exact same like red bandolier with a fucking red diaper.
Yep. God, though, that outfit, I am so surprised that Connery was okay with that. Every time I think about it.
He never changes. He wears it through the entire fucking movie.
That's his attire for the movie.
There's points where he even wears less. Like, he's shown with the diaper, the bandoliers, and freaking thigh-high boots. Like, if...
Oh, those... And
the thigh-highs kill me.
And even down to where the boots are red, or are brown over the red. Like, it clashes so terribly. It's like, what the fuck were... Who's the costume designer? It's fucking awful.
I'll tell you the costume designer was. It was the director's wife.
I'm waiting for a stripper pole to drop down in that Zardoz head.
I know. I mean, being dressed that way, he's asking for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. He's asking.
Except Connery would probably like it. So maybe that's why he liked dressing like that. But my God. And then later on, he's like barefoot, no bandoliers. He's just in the diaper. I love that we're calling it a diaper, P.S. That fucking powerful mustache and that long braid. I'm like, my God. Raw sexuality.
What the fuck is he supposed to be dressed as? There's like... It feels like he was like a fucking creator wrestler.
That you just set on random.
Yeah, they just set on random. It's like, all right, make this.
But I know anytime I play a wrestling game or now where I can create a player, I'm gonna make Zardoz. I'm gonna make Zed.
You're gonna make Zed from Zardoz.
Yep.
That's on my to-do list too.
Yeah, his entrance garb has to be the fucking weird double helmet.
Oh my God. Well, anyway, I think that's gonna do it. Unless you guys got anything else, do you guys have a grade for this?
Oh man, go ahead, Cole.
Wait.
Let me ask.
Oh man. I mean, I made it through the movie, so that gives it some sort of a credit.
Let me ask you this: did you have fun watching it?
You know what? I did. Like, it wasn't boring. For one, it was not boring. Like, I was thoroughly hooked in, whether that was like the intent or not. I was hooked in for whatever reason the entire movie.
I also had a bit of fun watching this movie because it falls into that camp of being just bad enough that it's good, but it's not good like that all throughout. There are some points where I'm like, this is just bad and incomprehensible. Like,
there was definitely moments I was falling asleep.
But what about you, JT?
For me, I love weird shit, and this movie is probably one of the weirdest I've ever seen. So, there are parts that I picked out where I thought, like, if they would have elaborated on them more, if they would have just made that point like the basis of the entire movie, I think I would have been more into it. But like I said before, it feels like a college student writing their thesis paper, trying to fucking solve all the world's problems in one thing, to where at the end you realize they literally said nothing. I think I was digging the end when they were doing the whole thing where Zed brings in the rest of the Brutals to kill all the intellectuals, and so fascinated with death that they're begging to be killed.
Mm-hmm.
I like the whole idea of that, where it's it's one of those grass is greener on the other side type things, where it's because we are destined to die, we're scared of it, but with people that are destined to live forever, they're fascinated with the fact that they could be killed. So I like that idea, but everything else, all the sexual shit, was just where are you fucking going with this?
It was the 70s.
So, I think for a grade, I mean, I didn't hate it. There are some things that I like about it, but it's just so all over the place. I'll give it a C-.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with a solid D.
Okay. I am actually right between you guys. I'm giving it a D+. I'm actually surprised, Joel, you rated it as high as you did, I guess.
Yeah, I can't, fault something for, making me think, and it definitely made me think. It made me think what the fuck sometimes, but it made me think.
Just the question why.
Yeah. I knew it was going to... I probably should have known that it was going to be so all over the place watching that trailer where they were, being love, death, life, birth, or, oh my god, yeah, you're trying to solve all the world's problems in one movie.
Well, awesome. I'm kind of glad that we all came around about the same area there, so that's pretty good. Actually, the IMDb score being a 5.9 out of 10 is also higher than I thought it was going to be as well. Because I thought...
Yeah.
Because I think we've, reviewed movies with far lower scores on all these major scoring sites, and, I mean, felt probably just likewise, but just going into Zardoz, I was surprised by, it's halfway, it's 50% range or whatever, because I thought everyone would be 0, 0, 0. But, yeah. All right, there you go, folks. That's Zardoz, my third pick for the month of June, right? Is that what we're doing now?
Don't you ever give me shit about making weird picks for movies ever again.
And our next pick will come up a little bit later on, and I'll drop it later. But what is there anything else you guys have been into this last week?
Oh, man. I haven't really been into much. I've been working a lot, so it's been hard to get into anything else in particular. Just Zardoz. So much Zardoz.
Cole, have you been doing anything to keep yourself busy?
Well, I haven't been working, so that's a thing. I have been slowly, but ever so surely losing my mind at home. I don't know. Painting the bathroom has been a thing for me. So, yes, getting that done.
Wow.
Also, checking out Dare to Be Network, Undertaker. Very, very good. 5-part series.
Yeah?
Oh yeah, I've watched like the first episode of it.
Oh my God! Become a wrestling fan. Come on, watch all of them. The 5th one comes out this coming Sunday.
Well, our good friend Zishi was telling me that it gets really repetitive at certain points, where it's like the whole show is Undertaker having a match and then being like, I should probably retire. No, I'm not going to retire.
I mean, that's pretty much what it is. He has a good match and goes, man, that should be it. And then he decides he's going to have one more and has a bad one and goes, nope, I got to have more. But it's damn good. And the 5th part comes up this Sunday. So, yeah, not so much the movie-wise. I'm trying to watch Trolls World Tour, but, God, I just don't want to spend $20 to rent it.
Is it still only a rental?
It's actually right now it's off completely. It's not even on there for rental anymore because I think the movie comes out for sale finally. I think July 10th. I looked it up on Amazon the other day.
Okay. Well, my
daughter is like dying to watch it.
Yeah. So is Macy. We've all but said like we can't watch this anymore until we can buy it forever or something because I'm not spending another $20 on this to have it for a day and a half or whatever you get. So
I know.
What was that shit you said? Like Macy kept saying, "Dad, it's there now."
Yeah, we would go on Amazon to watch the first one because we have the first one bought, and she would see it in like the movies to watch right now, and it's there, and she's like, "Look, it's back! It's there! We can watch it now!" I'm like, no, that's not the same. No. And then for a while, like I was like, when I'm trying to like watch the movies for the show, I'll watch it on TV and I'll give her my tablet and watch stuff and I'll put it like up on Amazon or whatever. And now I'm scared that she'll just click on something and buy it. Like I won't even know. So.
Oh yeah, it happens. Piper purchased the Addams Family movie 3 times. Yeah. There was $21 I wasn't ready to see taken out of our bank account.
Oh my God. Which Addams Family movie?
The newest one that just came out.
Oh no, not that one. I was hoping to be the one with Raul Julia in it.
No, just the newest one.
Oh no. Oh my. Well, I today gave the kids to my mom for a little bit so I could like rest on the couch. So I started watching stuff that I've been kind of interested in for a little bit. And I've never seen the IT Crowd before. And I gave like the first few episodes a good crack. And I like it, but I'm not used to hearing like a laugh track again while watching like sitcoms. And I was trying to imagine it with the laugh track not in there. And then I was thinking like, would this be funny? I can't tell. But I really like Chris O'Dowd in it. And I love his partner, which is now his name is totally escaping me. I think they're funny in it, but like otherwise like I think it's something that would have to grow on me through like a whole season. And then I'll be like, okay, this is the kind of thing they're going for. And then watch it. But I don't know if I'm going to watch it religiously or anything like that. But otherwise, I think it's fine. Has anyone else watched that?
Show. I like the show. There are like episodes that I like more than others. There's like one where they go to like they go to like some kind of like Broadway type show that I fucking love because I think like the Chris O'Dowd character like is waiting in line to go to the bathroom. But then, like, he just gives up and decides to, like, go to, like, the handicap bathroom. So then he has to act like a handicapped person because people are just, like, judging him.
Like, the last episode I saw, the beginning was Chris O'Dowd was taking this woman back home from a date they had. And he had, like, something on his forehead. And he's like, can I come in? Can I have, some tea or whatever? And she goes, I gotta say this to you. And there's like already at the front door. Like I've been wanting to say it all through dinner, but it never really was a time to bring it up. But you've got shit on your forehead. And he's like, what? No. This is just chocolate from dessert. No, this is just chocolate. And he wipes it off and licks it. And he's like, so how about some tea? And then it cuts to him telling like his buddy like the story from the night before, and he's like, so then I had shit all over my head or whatever, and he's like, I thought you said it was chocolate. And he's like, I mean it's chocolate, whatever. And I'm like, oh my god. So yeah, it's fine. Like, it's not my favorite thing. I didn't like it as much as I thought I was gonna like it, I should say, but I don't hate it either. So that's it. That's pretty much all I've been into.
Yeah, I've been watching more like Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Like, I feel like Fresh Prince of Bel-Air is that one sitcom that I think holds up still today. I still lose it at some of the bits in Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Yeah, it's on HBO Max. Troy's arch enemy.
Oh God, don't bring that up.
But no, it's so good. Even like, I didn't even know they did the whole DJ Jazzy Jeff shit so early, where like that the ongoing bit where every time he shows up at the house, he does just enough to piss off Uncle Phil that he throws him out in the front lawn, and they do the exact same bit where they show the outside of the house and then they just show him going, ah! And he falls out the front door.
Falls, more like he gets physically thrown through the front door.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember liking it when I would catch it on TV, but like I guess I would have to just check it out again because I haven't seen it like in, I don't even know, 10 years, 15 years maybe.
Yeah, but yeah, Will Smith is so fucking good. Like, I don't know. Like, you could definitely tell how he got picked up being this shit because he is so good in the.
Well, I'm glad to hear it.
I'm gonna take your word for it.
Well, next week, boys, I've got a good one planned. I've been wanting to watch this for a while, and I bring it up semi-regularly, but we're gonna watch Short Circuit 2 for next week.
Oh my god, Short Circuit 2?
Oh my god.
Yes, it's not streaming free anywhere. You have to rent it for $3, but it's I've been wanting to watch it, and I never think you're ever gonna pull the trigger on it. So I'm taking the time, and we're watching Short Circuit 2, the one where the guy is in brown face, the whole movie.
Oh no!
Can I join you guys? Can I jump in?
Yes.
Oh, you're more than welcome to.
Of course.
Oh my god, I'm in.
Short Circuit 2 was the only one that I've seen. I've never actually seen the first one.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, that's a
I've
shame.
only seen the second one, because that's the only one that ever showed up on HBO when I was a kid.
Well, I'm glad you were able to put everything together by not seeing the first one.
Yeah.
But that's going to do it. That's going to be the show, everybody. So what did you think of Zardoz? If you would, if you dove into that deep end, let us know on the social medias. You can do so at writing in at our email. But where could people find you personally, JT, if they want to talk about it?
Man, you can always find me at Bucky for Everyone on Twitter, also Bucky for Everyone on Instagram, and Bucky for Everyone on Snapchat, even though I don't use it.
Hot Take Havens, where can they find you?
Oh, you know I'm at Coach Havens on the Twitter machine.
You can find me. You can find me at Troy to the Max on Twitter. You can find both me and JT at Revue Pod on Twitter. And while there, the Tournament of Random Movies is still up and running. What do we got going on this week, JT?
Well, it's Dora on the Lost City of Gold versus Mrs. Doubtfire.
Woo! I hope that is a blowout. All of our episodes are uploaded onto reviewpod.podbean.com, as well as almost every other podcasting site, such as Stitcher, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and Apple Podcasts. And if you listen to us on Apple Podcasts, you can rate and review us there. That helps other people find the show. And if you want to write in, such as Eric did this evening, you can do so at reviewpod@gmail.com. Next week, Short Circuit 2. But before then, we're diving back into Star Warrantine with the original Star War.
This is definitely a milestone episode because we're talking about where it all started.
That's right. Star Wars: A New Hope coming up this Monday. Be prepared for it. We've watched it. We might even watched some supplementary material of it. So let's see what happens on Monday, shall we? But until then, I've been Troy to the Max Extreme.
Hey, I'm JT3K.
And for Hot Take Havens, we'll see you later. We're off.